Hello everybody, welcome to Chess 101. Today's lesson is how to checkmate in 4 moves. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do it. It's kind of fun, especially if you're playing another beginning player. Experienced players won't ever fall for it. And actually, if you do this in an experienced game, you'll probably be worse off. But anyway, so the key here is delivering check in 4 moves. It's pretty easy. You need 2 pieces. You're going to need your queen and you're going to need your light squared bishop over here. So the first move we're going to make here is this pawn is going to go to e4, right? Because pawns can move 2 on their first move. And we'll just say black follows and does that, okay? So black goes e5. And then you're going to bring your bishop out here, over here to c4. You're going to put the bishop right here because what you're aiming for is this pawn right here. This pawn and this pawn are very special pawns. And the reason these f pawns are special is because nothing protects them other than the king. So if you come down here and attack this pawn, the only piece that can take it is the king, unless you've moved pieces around. So you have to be very careful of this pawn, and this opening exploits this pawn. So what you're going to do here is you want to make sure you move to immediately attack this pawn. And let's say that they bring their knight out first. They want to bring their knight out to here and defend this pawn, right? So on your next move, you bring your queen out, and you place your queen right here. Now you're also attacking this pawn right here, okay? Now let's say they say, oh, I think I'll move this pawn right here, right? I'll just move it there and defend. Now I can get my bishop out, right? Because I moved that pawn. Well, actually right here you have a checkmate against black. So I'm sure you can all see it. You move your queen all the way down here to f7. You take the f7 pawn and it's checkmate. So why is it checkmate? Well, the king can't take the queen because the bishop, it's protected. None of these pieces can take the queen because they don't move the right way, right? Nothing here can take the queen. And the king only has 2 squares to move to, here and here, but the queen attacks both of these squares. So at this point, the king would have to resign, and that would be the end of the game. You don't have to knock down the king. You just, once this person says checkmate, it's over, okay? Now there's another variation on this that I'm going to show you here really quick because it's the same thing, but it can surprise people if they haven't seen it this way. It's the same basic premise. You start off like this. You move your bishop here to attack here. Let's say they do this to start off. They just move this pawn up, to get their bishop out and defend over here. Okay, what you can do is you can move your queen all the way over here to h5. Now you're still attacking right here. And you say, well, why would I do that? Because why don't I just move it here? Well, some people will, I'm going to attack this queen. And what I've seen is they'll bring this knight out and put it here because it attacks the queen. On the next move, it can take the queen, right? And they think, hey, I'm going to go attack that queen. The problem is they've completely forgotten about this pawn over here. And the queen just comes in and takes it. It's still checkmate, okay? Another interesting thing about this opening is, let's say, that you play this and they just play something like that, right? And then you play this and then they say, well, I'm going to defend by pushing this pawn up here. So it's attacking. It also blocks you from taking here. Well, at this point, you can just come here and take this pawn and put him in check. And then, of course, they have to block it somehow, either like this or this. But you've won this pawn. So you're up a pawn. So you're up something. You have a little advantage here. And, it's just a quick way to get a little bit of an advantage at the beginning of the game. It's 4-move checkmate. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to show it how it looks coming this direction if they're coming at the white pieces, because it's important to not only look at what you're doing, but what your opponent's doing. So we'll say white moves first, black does this. I will just say you did this as your first move. So black would take its dark squared bishop, since this f-pawn's on a dark square, and place it here. And no, maybe you didn't like that, so you were going to push this pawn up to maybe then push this pawn up, right? Try to make him move. And then black plays this queen here, and you think, I don't know, maybe I'll just play this, right? And defend that pawn. And then you're not even realizing what's going on here. And then black comes down here, and that's checkmate, right? You can't take it. You can't move anywhere. So there's nothing you can do there. So it's good to see that. It's called the 4-move checkmate, scholar's mate. I'll do a whole nother video on a bunch of other different types of short checkmates. This is the most common one you'll see. Like I said, it's called scholar's mate or the 4-move checkmate. It's the easiest one to do. The key is just moving this pawn up, get him out of the way, and then get the bishop and the queen out and go attack that square. Try it against all of your friends. And anyway, that's the video for today. And make sure you subscribe to the videos. And thanks for watching.